we're going to jump into talent changes, okay? So we're not talking about things added or removed, simply changed, okay? So first up, we're going to talk about Cursive Weakness. It has gone from a 3-point talent to a 2-point talent. Boom! I'm going to give that the buff stamp, the stamp of buff. It's got the Toyhouze seal of approval. It has been buffed. You can get the same effect for 2 points that you used to have to spend 3 on back in Classic Vanilla WoW. Moving on to Improved Drain Soul. Now it will return 15% of your maximum mana if the target is killed while you drain its soul. In addition, your Affliction spells generate 10% less threat. Your prayers have been answered, because back in Classic Vanilla WoW, Warlocks really had a hard time with generating too much threat. They really had to watch their threat meter. This is going to help with that. It's for Affliction spells only, take note. I consider this a buff. I'm going to give that the buff Toyhouze stamp of approval, because you're going to get 15% of your maximum mana back right away. A huge improvement from that 100% increase in mana regeneration in Vanilla. Next up, we have Improved Drain Life, which not only had its name changed to Soul Siphon, it also had its effects entirely changed, as well as turning from a 5-point talent to a 2-point talent. This is a huge buff, in my opinion, because now you can get additional 4% per Affliction effect on the target. And count with me, we've got Siphon Life, we've got Corruption, we've got Curse of whatever, we've got Unstable Affliction. That's 4 right there. That's up to 16% for 2 talent points. Huge buff. I like it. Let's grab it. Next up, we're going to talk about Improved Cursive Agony. So it essentially does the same thing almost. Almost got you there. Haha, you paying attention? So it has gone from a 3-point talent to a 2-point talent. Not only that, but it also increases the damage done by an additional 4%. So you're getting more damage for less talent points. Nice little buff right there for you. Okay. Up next, we're going to talk about Improved Cursive Exhaustion. It's gone. Where did it go? Well, it went straight into that base talent of Cursive Exhaustion. As you can see, now instead of a 10% movement speed reduction, it is already 30%. You don't have to put those extra 4 talent points. Prayers have been answered, my friends. Warlocks have gotten lots of buffs. So, we talked about what changed. Now we're going to talk about what was added and what was removed for Affliction. Starting with Empowered Corruption. This is a new talent to the Affliction talent tree. Your Corruption spell gains an additional 36% of your bonus spell damage effects. That's at rank 3. Improved Drain Mana was a talent that was removed, which caused 30% increased mana drained from drained mana to damage the opponent. And then Shadow Embrace was a new talent added as well. And this one's pretty exciting because it allows your Corruption, Curse of Agony, Siphon Life, and Seed of Corruption spells to also cause the Shadow Embrace effect, which essentially reduces physical damage caused by 5%. Now, depending on the meta or whatever, you know, also in PvE, this is helpful. It's going to reduce some of that physical damage caused by your target. So it's actually a pretty good talent, guys. Okay, moving on to Contagion. This is a new talent that will increase the damage of Curse of Agony, Corruption, and Seed of Corruption by 5%, and it also reduces the chance of your Affliction spells getting dispelled by an additional 30%. I love this talent because in PvP, people are dispelling all your Affliction spells like crazy. Curses are being stripped off by mages and druids, you know. Priests and paladins are taking off that magical effect of corruption, and it's frustrating, and so Contagion is the answer. It's going to allow your dots to be a little bit more sticky, and that is something I will take gladly. Another really fun one, or I would say even the most fun, in my opinion, is Improved Howl of Terror. Now, I used to hate just sitting there, casting my Howl of Terror, you know, and then I just see a priest come running up, Psychic Scream, everyone's gone running, right? Well, now Warlocks can pretend to be priests, because if you get this talent, which is only 2 points, you will have the casting time of your Howl of Terror reduced by 1.5 seconds, which makes it instant cast. Woohoo! That is awesome. So now you have your own Psychic Scream. Okay, so Malediction. This is another, I would say, primarily PvE type talent. It's going to increase the damage bonus of your Curse of Shadows and Curse of Elements spell by an additional 3%. And if you're not familiar with those spells, guys, Curse of Shadows just basically reduces their shadow resistance and increases shadow damage done. Curse of Elements reduces a fire and frost resistances and % damage taken by whatever amounts and whatever percents depending on the rank and all that. So that's a nice little buff. And then now we are going to kind of recap again here. Curse of Exhaustion was removed. It is completely gone, baked into just the base talent of the spell. But we have the bottom of the Affliction tree, the spell we've all been waiting for, Unstable Affliction. This is a new Affliction spell for Warlocks, which causes a great amount of shadow damage. In addition, if it is dispelled, it will cause 990 damage at rank 1 to the Dispeller and silence them for 5 seconds. This is a really awesome ability, especially in PvP, because a 5-second silence can be very deadly. And if you're doing a lot of damage and then the healer is silenced, you can really get a great kill. You don't want to dispel Unstable Affliction. If you layer your dots correctly, you can do a ton of damage and stress out healers that are trying to dispel dots quite a bit. That wraps up the Affliction tree. Now we're going to move on to Demonology, and I'm going to try to go through this a little bit faster just to keep things exciting. So improved health funnel, no one really got it. It was buffed, but you're still probably not going to get it. That's that in a nutshell. Fell Intellect, a talent that you kind of had to get back in Vanilla Classic to move down the Demonology tree. It was pretty good, you know, leveling. Your pets kind of had mana problems, and it kind of helped with that issue, especially with when you're taking your pet's mana for your own. You know, it's a decent talent, but 5 points is quite a bit. So in TBC, that 5 talent turned into a 3-point talent, and it also increases your maximum mana by 3%. So now it's kind of worth getting a little bit more. Not the greatest talent, but at least it's a little bit better. So that's a buff. Same thing for Fell Stamina. Instead of maximum mana, it's maximum health. Same exact change otherwise. Unholy Power had a nice little subtle nerf here. If you notice, and if you look carefully, you will see that Imp's Firebolt has also been increased by 20% if you put all 5 points into it. It used to not benefit the Imp, so that is a nice little buff there for people who love using the Imp pet. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Improved Enslaved Demon. Again, this is a talent similar to Health Funnel. It's not really used, and even though it was buffed, it probably still will not be used. Improved Firestone is another talent kind of like that. It also got buffed, though. It will also increase the spell critical strike rating bonus of your Spellstone by 30%. Its Spellstone has uses in PvP, in Classic, in TBC, not so much. Okay. Demonic Sacrifice, one of my favorite abilities, and I will love to tell you guys what changed. So this is a special spell. It's different from all the other ones in this guide because it was both buffed and nerfed. Now, depending on your opinions, you know, you may say, you know, it was worth it. Some may say it was not worth it. Personally, I think the nerf for the buff was totally worth it. I think the spell has gotten much better. So let's talk about the nerf first. The Voidwalker used to restore 3% of total health every 4 seconds. That's been reduced to 2%. That is the nerf. However, the buff is that the Felguard has been added to Demonic Sacrifice. It now, when you sacrifice your Felguard, which, let's be honest, not many people are even going to do, quite frankly, but if you do in those special situations, it will increase your shadow damage by 10% and restore 2% of total mana every 4 seconds. So the ability to sacrifice that Felguard, it's kind of cool. I think it's worth losing 1% of total health every 4 seconds in the Voidwalker for whenever you want to do that special Felguard sacrifice, which I can't think of any scenarios, but there it is. Okay, guys, moving up to Master Demonologist. I'm going to go ahead and say this is my #1 favorite talent in all of World of Warcraft, essentially. This is a passive buff that Warlocks get when they go Demonology and choose this talent. So, straight up buff from Vanilla Classic WoW. The Felguard was added. So passively, when you have your Felguard out, you have Master Demonologist, and the Felguard buff will increase all damage caused by 5% and all resistances by 0.5 per level. So if you look at some of the other demons that you can summon, the Succubus increases damage done, all damage done by 10%, and the Fell Hunter increases all resistances by 1 per level. Essentially, if you take half of a Succubus, half of a Fell Hunter, smash them together, you'll get the Felguard bonus. So some of basically the 2 best ones, Voidwalker also, honorable mention, I really like that 10% physical damage reduction. Basically, you take those 2, you mash them together, you get the Felguard, and I think that's a fantastic bonus. You're getting lots of good damage, lots of good resistances. Awesome, awesome, and it's passive. That's the best part. Now, Soul Link is another talent, probably my second favorite. It's super great. Soul Link will transfer damage taken by you to your pet. So back in classic vanilla WoW, 30% of all damage taken would be transferred. Now in the Burning Crusade, only 20% will be transferred. So in my opinion, that is a nerf. However, back in vanilla, you got 3% more damage from Soul Link, and now you will inflict 5% more damage instead of 3 now in Burning Crusade. So you lost 10% of damage transferred, but you gained 2%. You now inflict 2% more damage from Soul Link. Hope that makes sense. Kind of hard to word. So that's a nerf in my opinion, but still a great talent. Okay, moving on to Demonic Aegis. Now this is a new talent added to the Demonology talent tree. It increases the effectiveness of your Demon Armor and Fell Armor spells by 30%. Spoiler alert. It took 2 tries to say that. Fell Armor is a new spell, a new armor for Warlocks, which will increase your... We'll talk about it later. Increase the amount of health you generate with your abilities and also your spell power. So this is actually quite a good talent, and I would recommend picking it up. You won't be let down by it, guys. Improved Spellstone is gone. This was actually a talent that certain specs in classic WoW for PvP people chose. It's gone though now. Demonic Knowledge. This is a fantastic new talent which will increase your spell damage equal to 12% of your total active demon stamina plus intellect. I like it. It's a good talent. Okay, 3 more new talents in the Demonology tree. And then there'll be one more slide of more, but let's talk about Mana Feed. Okay guys, so whenever you gain mana from Drain Life or Life Tap, your pet will gain either 30, 60, or 100% of the mana you gain, depending on the rank. A really nice spell, because again, your demons can tend to have mana issues. Demonic Resilience. This is a great talent in a nutshell because as you and other players get more geared, your pet will not also become incrementally more powerful. So this talent is helpful because if someone's gotten super strong, they could just totally one-shot your pet. You lose Master Demonologist, you lose Soul Link, it's over, right? Demonic Resilience will help reduce that from happening by reducing all damage your summoned demon takes by 15%. So that's another really great talent. It's going to be more and more useful as people become more and more geared in the Burning Crusade. Alright, Demonic Tactics. This is pretty much just a 5% straight up crit for you and for your pet. Last, we got the Felguard. This is what people call the Warlock's personal warrior. This is a super strong demon that has a bunch of abilities. It's got charge, it's got cleave. It's an amazing pet. I can't wait to try it out. I'm sure you're excited too. All right, we're moving on to Destruction. Now, Destruction, we're going to start off with a nerf. Surprise! So the nerf is improved Firebolt. So if you put 2 points into it, it reduced the casting time of your Imp's Firebolt spell by 1 second in classic vanilla WoW. Now, in the Burning Crusade, improved Firebolt will reduce the casting time by half a second, 0.5 seconds. So this is a nerf, and I think it is probably a good nerf. It is good that it happened because they also made it so imps do 20% more damage when you get that other talent in the Demonology tree. So that is a nerf. If you go to the next talent, you've got Intensity, which gives you a 70% chance to resist interruption caused by damage while channeling Rain of Fire, Hellfire, or Soulfire back in vanilla. But in TBC, it's any destruction spell. So that is a super fun, super great thing. I'm really glad that they did that. It kind of helps with PvP a little bit more, helps if you get hit. There was no other way to stop that knockback back in classic vanilla. Okay, more destruction changes. Destructive Reach used to increase the range of your destruction spells by 20, and now it does that, but in addition, it will reduce threat caused by Destro spells by 10%. Again, Warlocks really lacked that threat reduction. TBC has answered that by giving these talents, and I'm a big fan. I'm super happy. Nothing like BWL, you know, those Draconids getting that shadow shadow vulnerability. You're just pumping shadow bolts into them like there's no tomorrow. Next thing you know, you're dead. All right, so up next we got Improved Searing Pain. Went from a 5-point talent to a 3-point talent. Other than that, nothing has changed. However, less talents for the same thing. That is the buff. And we've got Ember Storm, which now not only increases damage done by our fire spells, it also reduces the cast time of your Incinerate spell by 10%. And don't tell anyone, Incinerate's a new Destro spell. Okay, 3 new talents for the Destro talent tree. We've got Nether Protection. Ho 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 ho, guys. Look at that talent. After being hit with a shadow or fire spell, you have a 30% chance to become immune to shadow and fire spells for 4 seconds. That's crazy. There's no internal cooldown on that. You can just become immune. 30% chance. So Nether Protection, super great. It's a little bit of survivability that Destro really needed, because they don't really have any other, abilities to kind of stay alive, right? Besides the other talent that was added, but we'll get to that. Okay, Backlash. This is the next talent. This will increase the critical strike chance with spells by 3%. That's awesome. And it will also give you a 25% chance when hit by a physical attack to reduce the cast time of your next Shadow Bolt or Incinerate spell by 100%. So this is essentially a Nightfall talent for the Destro tree. Instead of just Shadow Bolt, it's also Incinerate, and also it procs like crazy. However, it can only occur once every 8 seconds, right? But it's a 1 in 4 on a physical attack. So if a rogue's poking you like crazy, or a Feral Druid's poking you like crazy, it can only happen every 8 seconds, but it's a 1 in 4. And then you just pop that instant Shadow Bolt. It's a ton of fun. It's a pretty great talent if you ask me. And then Soul Leech, another talent similar to Nether Protection. It's going to help with your sustain, your survivability. What it's going to do is it's going to give your Shadow Bolt, your Shadow Burn, your Soul Fire, your Incinerate, your Searing Pain, and your Conflag spells a 30% chance to return health equal to 20% of the damage caused. That's really nice. I mean, if you're, life tapping and getting mana back, this is a way to maybe take some stress off your healers. If you're in PvP, someone's on you, you're getting some spells off, it's going to give you those nice heals. Those are some use cases. We've got Shadow and Flame added right below Conflag. That is going to increase your Shadow Bolt and Incinerate spells bonus spell damage by 20%. So that's pretty nice. Definitely recommend that talent. And then Shadow Fury. This is a PvP talent mostly, but it's an AoE stun. 8 yards. Rank 1 does 2-second stun. Rank 2, it will do 4-second stun. Woo, big number. Alright guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I mean, I'm just so happy with the amount of comments I've been getting on some of my videos. You guys mean the world to me, and I love talking about World of Warcraft with you guys. There's really nothing I like more. I really hope you join our community on YouTube by subscribing. Like this video if you liked it, guys. I'm going to be making more videos, and I really hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care, and I hope this guide really helped you learn more about Warlock and will help you get a great start on your journey in the Burning Crusade. Alright, thanks guys. Take care.